Here we are again with another vlog. Um, it's a funny story. Throughout all of January, things kept happening, and I kept being like, "Oh, I can't wait to talk about that in my vlog. I can't wait to talk about that in my vlog. That'll be really cool." And then February rolled around, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to do it." But someone mentioned something to me, and I was like, "Sure, why not? Like, I should record it, start this trend. I think it'll be a lot of fun to do this once a month." Although I don't know, January it didn't feel like anything really happened. Like a lot happened, but it didn't feel like a lot of time passed. If that makes sense. One of the biggest, craziest things that happened is we had a lot of snow days this January, um, and so the beginning of my student teaching in this term kept getting pushed back and back and back, and so it was like frustrating. I mean, it was like nice because it's like, well, I don't have to go to work. I can just do literally whatever. For the first 2 weeks, I was just like big chilling here in my dorm and having fun with my college friends. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like I want to get back to work. I want to get back to student teaching. I have to get like a required 60 days in the classroom in. And so every day that I'm not in there for a snow day or whatnot, it gets pushed back. And so it's starting to cut into my spring break now, which is, just the way it is. But at some point, if there's too many snow days, like it starts to be really hairy because I have to start taking classes while also student teaching, perhaps. So hopefully we can get them all in before the next term starts for Knox. If you can't tell from my sniffling and coughing, I'm actually a little sick. We spent all day playing frisbee today, but yesterday after school I was feeling a little under the weather, and then it just got worse. It was really funny, actually. I think all three of the teachers in my classroom got sick because um, one of the teachers was like not feeling good by the end of the day, and then my other teacher was feeling not very good, and I was like, I'm fine, and then I got home and I was like, oh brother. So yeah, student teaching has been going great. Once we got started about mid-January, getting into the swing of things, and now that I've had like a significant amount of experience under my belt, like I'm really starting to hone in on my own teaching style and the tone of the voice I use in the classroom, but still just constantly, trying to get better at how I tackled the different issues that arise in a music classroom. But it's been really fun. It's really nice to student teach not only under one person who you trust and value and like you think they're very, very, very good at their jobs, but like there's also three other teachers that I see on a consistent daily basis that I also think are very good at their jobs, and I trust them and I value their opinions. So not only do I get like one person to help me out, but just a whole plethora of really really good music educators to help me kind of hone my craft before I start a job. Um, the job search is starting soon. I gotta like make a resume, which is something I've never really had to do before, except for like college scholarships. And it's a little hairy or funny now because what do I put on like what I used to put on a resume is like my high school achievements, but being 5 years removed from high school, it's not really pertinent to put drum major on my job application resume. So I need to craft those things, get some letters of recommendation, recommendation, and start applying. I was gonna wait because a lot of schools post their jobs in March, but I figured like why not just start looking now. I'm really anxious to kind of like know where I'm going next this summer and with my job and whether or not I can do different things. Like I really want to know ahead of time so that I can plan. But it'll all come in time. I got to take my tests too. You have to take a few tests to get certified as a teacher, and I've been putting those off just because no one's forced me to do them yet. But a bunch of other Knox students are doing them pretty soon, so I think I'll join them and hopefully get like a waiver. They're crazy expensive for no other reason other than America. Um, this January, I went to a semi-professional, technically, tryout for a frisbee team. It was called the Chicago Union. They're only called semi-professional because they don't get paid, but it's essentially the professional league of ultimate frisbee. And it was a lot of fun. Um, being a guy at a really small D3 college that has a great frisbee team and program, but is not like a super dedicated frisbee program who's going to all these big tournaments. And having only played for 2.5 years now, like I was at a really big disadvantage going into that. And it's one thing to be good here at this small D3 college, but I had no clue what the skill level or the skill difference between me and like the professional league was. So going to that tryout was not, I think I'm professional league ready, but it was just to see what the next step is. Do I think that level of frisbee is attainable for me? Is it something I want to pursue? Going there was a lot of fun. I definitely was not the best person at that tryout, but I don't think I was the worst. I would put myself, kind of middle of the pack of the people who showed up there. And it was just really interesting because it was like genuinely, it was like playing a different game. And it's something that I see as achievable, but like achievable in the like, if I dedicate the next few years of my life to this, I think I could. So we'll see if that seems to be a path that I can take. It was really nice. It was good experience to guard really, really, really good cutters. It was a really great experience to see what that level of play is like, and where my level of play is. And it's also just nice, like I said, being a really small college, like the things that, like I've been playing for 2.5 years, and the last year and a half I've been a captain. So like getting knowledge about frisbee has been almost entirely like on me to like go look it up or go find somebody to ask. Whereas, if you're playing on a professional team, if you're playing even on one of the better club teams, like you're learning by doing. You're learning because you're playing the best. Whereas here in D3, I'm not playing the best frisbee players, and I don't have the best frisbee players on my team to teach me. Even though my teammates are really great, they're not professionals either. So it was really nice just to see all of that. I can't really think of what else I did in January that was noteworthy other than student teaching frisbee. It's kind of my whole life right now. So this next month should be a good one. Leap year, so it's like a real February kind of. My birthday's in 2 days. I feel like I should mention that on the 5th. Turning 23. And 23 is one of those years that's like so, like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, when you're first starting college, you turn 18, that's a big one. Okay, 19, 20, you feel so different because you grow a lot in your first year, 2 years of college. But 21 and 22 and 23 have all just felt like the same, a blur. They don't feel distinct. They feel like the same kind of section, same chapter. And I think that'll change at some point. I imagine around 25 or 26, it's like, okay, this feels different from that. But turning 23 doesn't feel like really a big deal. It just kind of feels like, yeah, I guess it's been a year since I turned 22. But I think I said that last year, and then on my birthday, I was like, wow, I'm turning 23. So we'll see how I feel. I'll be student teaching for my birthday, so that'll be a lot of fun. February, we have our winter whiteout tournament for frisbee. We host that. That'll be fun. Get the Knox alumni down here. And then we start our spring season, and I'm super hyped for that. So you'll hear a lot more about that if I do a March and an April vlog, because that'll be the thick of our frisbee season, and I'm very, 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 very excited for that. So got to make it through student teaching. Got to keep doing well. I had a really great midterm review for my student teaching, so a few more weeks, I'll get my final grade for student teaching and, get ready to move on to the next term, and then after that, the next part of my life. So that's February.